Hello and welcome to another video. Today we are going to talk about purchase commitment. So what is the purchase commitment? Actually it is a commitment to buy the product but at future date. Okay, so you will lock the rate today but you will execute the transaction in the future date. Okay, so at the time of agreement, when you will enter into the contract with the supplier, so you will not record any purchases. The reason is that maybe the risk and reward attached with the goods are not transferred to the buyer, but there is a accounting for the purchase commitment. What is accounting? So here we go. So first of all, a purchase commitment, actually it is a commitment to acquire a goods in the future. Okay, so but at the time of agreement, when you will enter into the agreement, you will not record any purchases as a from a customer point of view. Okay, so and this is what I told you. The second point, the goods are recognized as inventory when they are received. Like at that, by the time once you will actually buy the product, once you will receive the goods, only at that time you will record your inventory. Now let's assume I'm just giving you example. Let's assume this is the month of September of year one. You are gonna to buy inventory in the March of next year, and 31st December is our year end. So you know what might happen, maybe the prices at the end of the year might be different than whatever you have agreed with the supplier. So if the market price at the reporting date is less than agreed price, so this is called loss. So loss you have to record, and don't forget, you cannot record the gain until unless it is realized. Okay, so please focus here, this is a really important point. Okay, so here this is the point. The material losses expected on purchase commitment are measured in the same way as inventory losses, and we will recognize and we will separately disclose. Now the question is that if your market value at the end of the year, actual market value is less than agreed price, so this is a loss. So how you will book the loss? This is what is the entry which you will pass. The entry is unrealized holding loss debit. So this will be recorded in earnings. Earning mean to say in the income statement. Okay, so and it should be disclosed as well. So this will be a debit. Okay, and credit will go to the liability with the name of purchase commitment. So this you will also book the liability in the balance sheet. Don't forget, you will never book the gain if your market price is more than agreed price. So let's have a look what I'm talking about, so you will understand in a better way if we will perform example. Here we go. Here we have an example. So in example, let's assume during the year here during the year, the Lipson company signed a non-cancelable contract to purchase 2,000 pounds of material at $64 per pound. It means you have locked the price, which is $64, and you have a quantity of 2,000 pound. Okay, during the forthcoming year, you will buy in the next year actually. Okay, on December 31st, it means this is the year, and the market price of the material is $52 dollar per pound. So you can see here your agreed price is $64, but your market price is $52 per pound. So there is a loss which you have to book. Okay, and the selling price of the finished product is expected to be declined accordingly. For example, I'm just assuming, so here assume that the actual purchase date of purchase is February 1 of the next year. I'm just assuming, so maybe year end is the 31st December of this year, but you will buy the inventory in the February of next year. Okay, on June next year, mean to say after actual purchases, Lipson company sold the inventory for $70 per pound. So this is the sale price. Now the question is that how you will record the double entries in year one at the end of the year. Okay, and at the date of actual purchase and at the date of sale. So please don't forget, so the day when you will enter into the contract means a commitment day, commit agreement date. At that day you will not pass any entry. So here we have a solution. So what we will do, at the end of the year, first we need to calculate inventory cost as per purchase commitment, because you are gonna to buy 2000 pounds and the agreed price is $64 per pound. It means you will pay in future $128,000, but inventory at market value, like on the reporting date, the mark inventory at market value, how you will calculate, you have 2000 pound, but the market value is $52 per pound, it is given in the question. So it means the actual market value of the inventory at at the reporting date is 104,000. So you can see here the committed price is 128,000 and your market value at the reporting date is 104,000. So there is a loss of 24,000. So this is called loss on purchase commitment. Now the question is that what entry you will pass to record this purchase commitment. So the entry to record the loss at the end of year, what entry you will pass, you will make debit unrealized holding loss, debit with 24,000, and credit will go to the liability, I mean to say purchase commitment. This will be reported in the balance sheet by 24,000. And now here this loss you will take it to the income statement. Okay, like debit side will go to the income statement as an expense, but credit side will go to the balance sheet as a liability. Now here we go, next year, okay, at February 1, like this is the actual date of purchase, the act at the time of actual purchase, what entry you will pass. So here we go. So first of all, we will eliminate the liability, the previous liability which you have already booked. First eliminate that liability. So what the entry you will pass, now debit will goes to liability, I mean to say purchase commitment with 24,000, and credit will go to the cash account. Okay, and the cash you will pay as per agreed price, agreed price. So here you have a 2000 pound agreed price, the commitment price was $64. So this is what you will book the credit with the cash. Now you can see the debit side is 24,000, credit side is 128,000. So there is a difference of 104,000. So this difference you will record it to the inventory account, and I am assuming here at the date of purchase your market value has not changed. Okay, this is the assumption here. So what we will do, the difference will be recorded to the inventory account. Now uh, now we will move to the date of sale, which is 1st June, because in the question he told you, on June 1 next year, Lipson company sold the inventory for $70 per pound, which you have acquired on the February 1. So what entry you will pass here, it's quite simple. So just logical is there, so logic is there, you need to understand. So on June 1, at the time of sale, when you sold to the external third party, so what entry you will pass, so first of all you will record the sale. Okay, and secondly what you will do, you will also record the cost of goods sold. Okay, so for the sale, what entry you will pass, debit will goes to receivables or cash account. Okay, maybe it depends, if the transaction is on credit, so you will book receivable. If it is on cash, you will book the debit cash account. So how many pounds we have sold, I'm assuming we have sold all the all 2000 pounds. Okay, so what you will do, you will make debit 2000 pounds multiply by $70. So this is what is the debit will go to cash or receivable, and credit will go to the sale, of course. So you will also record the sale, 2000 pounds times $70 is the price. So this will book, you will book the sale. So this is what the entry you will pass to record the sale with the sale price. So at the same time, we also need to record the cost of goods sold, because you have sold all the inventory. So what entry you will pass, so first you will make a debit will go to the cost of goods sold with the cost of inventory. And you remember the cost of inventory was here in the previous entry, it was how much, 104,000. So this is what you will make it debit here. So cost of goods sold debit with 104,000, and credit will go to the inventory with 104,000. Why inventory is credited? Because you have sold this inventory, so you need to remove from the financial statement. So this is how you will do the accounting for purchase commitment. So in summarized way, so what I told you, the losses we will measure uh, in the same way as we measure for the inventory. Okay, and the gain you will not book, and at the time of purchase you will not record any purchases. I hope everything is clear. So if you have any question, you can ask me through the comment section. If you really like the video, don't forget subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video. Thank you so much. Bye bye.